psychological facts that will blow your mind. Hey everyone, welcome back to Channel Name. If you're new here, I'm your name, and today we're diving into some truly fascinating psychological facts that are bound to blow your mind. Have you ever wondered why we act the way we do? Or why certain situations or people affect us in ways we can't explain? Well, get ready, because in today's video, we're going to explore some surprising truths about the human mind that might change the way you see yourself and the world around you. So sit tight and make sure to stay until the end, because some of these facts might completely change your perspective on how you think and behave. And before we dive in, let's start with one of the most mind-blowing concepts in neuroscience, the default mode network. So, what exactly is that? Well, whenever you're not actively focused on a specific task, your brain enters something called the default mode network, or DMN. This is the state of your brain when you're just daydreaming, relaxing, or letting your mind wander. Now here's the crazy part. This is actually the time when your brain is doing some of its most important work. While you're zoning out, your brain is busy working on problem solving, coming up with creative ideas, and consolidating memories. In fact, this is often when your best ideas will pop into your head. Ever had that moment when you're in the shower or just sitting back and suddenly an idea strikes? That's your default mode network at work. So, the next time you're just letting your mind drift, remember, your brain might be doing its most important thinking when you least expect it. Speaking of thinking, let's talk about multitasking. We've all been there, juggling multiple things at once and feeling like we're handling it all. But here's the truth. Humans cannot multitask efficiently. I know, shocking, right? Our brains can only focus on one task at a time. What we think of as multitasking is actually just rapid switching between different tasks, and the more we switch, the less effective we become at each individual task. This constant switching not only reduces our productivity, but can also make us feel stressed and overwhelmed. So next time you try to juggle multiple tasks at once, remember, focusing on one thing at a time might actually make you more productive and less stressed. It's all about giving your full attention to whatever you're working on rather than trying to do everything at once. Now, here's something that's going to make you rethink every first encounter you've ever had. Did you know that people make judgments about you in less than 100 milliseconds of meeting you? Yes? That's less than a second. It's called the first impression effect, and it's something we all do without even realizing it. In that blink of an eye, people decide whether they like you, whether they trust you, or whether they find you attractive. And the crazy part? It's incredibly hard to change that first impression once it's formed. So if you want to leave a lasting positive impression, it's not just about what you say. Your body language, your smile, and even your posture can make a huge difference. It's all about making that first moment count, because whether you realize it or not, people are already forming an opinion of you before you even open your mouth. Let's switch gears a little and dive into something that affects all of us on a daily basis, the negativity bias. This is one of the most powerful psychological phenomena that influences our thoughts and actions. Simply put, negativity bias means that our brains are wired to pay more attention to negative experiences than positive ones. Ever noticed how you might remember a harsh comment from a friend or a bad day at work for days, but a compliment or good news doesn't seem to stick as much? That's your brain's negativity bias at play. This bias developed as an evolutionary survival mechanism. Our ancestors needed to remember threats or dangers in order to protect themselves. While this made sense in ancient times, it can be less helpful today when a negative comment or experience can linger in our minds long after the event is over. Understanding this bias can help you let go of negativity more easily and focus on the positive aspects of life. Now, let's talk about something we all experience but rarely think about: how we judge other people. Have you ever heard of the halo effect? It's a psychological phenomenon where we tend to make a general judgment about someone based on one single positive trait. For example, if someone is attractive, we might assume they're also intelligent, friendly, or successful without knowing anything else about them. The opposite is true too. If someone exhibits one negative trait, we might also assume they have other flaws. The halo effect shows just how powerful our first impressions and biases can be. We tend to make judgments based on limited information, and these judgments can influence how we interact with others, even if we don't realize it. So, the next time you meet someone, try to catch yourself and question whether you're letting one positive or negative trait influence your overall perception of them. Here's another one that might surprise you. Your sense of time is not as accurate as you think. Studies have shown that our perception of time can be heavily influenced by our emotions and surroundings. For example, when we're anxious or stressed, time seems to drag on, and minutes can feel like hours. On the flip side, when we're having fun or are deeply engrossed in something we enjoy, time seems to fly by. It's all about how our brains process our experiences. When you're relaxed and in a positive state, you don't pay as much attention to the passage of time, but when you're stressed or uncomfortable, every second feels longer. This is why you might look at the clock during a long, boring meeting and feel like you've been sitting there for hours only to realize it's only been 15 minutes. And here's one final mind-blowing fact. We all have an inner voice, but did you know that this inner voice is actually a reflection of our deepest thoughts and beliefs? It's true. That voice you hear in your head when you're making decisions, thinking about your day, or even self-talking, it's not just random noise. The way we talk to ourselves can influence our mood, self-esteem, and even our behavior. If you're constantly putting yourself down or thinking negatively, that inner voice is reinforcing those beliefs. But on the flip side, if you practice positive self-talk and be kind to yourself, you can boost your mood and even improve your mental health. So, there you have it. Some incredibly fascinating psychological facts that reveal just how complex and amazing our minds really are. From how we make judgments to why time seems to fly or drag, the human brain is constantly at work in ways we don't even fully understand. I hope these facts gave you a new perspective on the way you think and behave. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts or any other psychological facts you find mind-blowing. I'll see you in the next one.